So first of
Very
all,
Shibu.
first of all, good afternoon, all in all present in this meeting. I am Shibu, student of BBA third semester, and I am going to present a presentation on my whatever research I have done. The topic of my research is awareness of people about entrepreneurship, particularly in Bihar region. Okay. So moving on, what does clear about what does entrepreneurship means? Basically, entrepreneurship is an ideology, or we can say a process of setting up a business. And entrepreneur is an individual who creates a new business, bear most of risk, and enjoy most of rewards. Now, moving on the next topic, what are the objectives behind my research work? Basically, I want to identify what does entrepreneurship means to peoples of Bihar, and I also want to know what are the challenges that entrepreneur faces, whether funds are available in Bihar or not, whether resources are available in Bihar or not, and what are the challenges in entrepreneurship which leads to change of student perception toward entrepreneurial decisions. Now, moving on the next topic, what is the significance of my paper? How does my research paper help student? Basically, my research paper helps student to analyze themselves that what are the strengths that they have, whether they have risk bearing capacity, patience, perseverance, or perception. My research paper also help them to identify their weaker zone, to identify the upcoming opportunities in future for aspiring entrepreneurs, and identify the threats in future. Okay, the methodology that is used by me to do my research is sample designing, sample sizing, preparing questionnaire, which have the objectives of the research paper. I collected data from different sources like primary, secondary, and the tools that I use to do my research work is mean, statistical tools, and use of MS Office, all the Google tools. Now, moving on the sources from which I collected my data, basically my whole research work is done on the basis of primary data that I collected through surveys and the feedback that I received from different persons. I also use secondary source like literature books, like literatures, like different books, newspaper, magazines, etc. And what are the major findings that I get from the data that I collected is basically people feel financial risk as a most demotivating factor. The access of finance is also a major barrier for individuals who are aspiring to start their career as an entrepreneur. People understanding about resources are completely vague. They are doesn't aware about the resources that are available, particularly in Bihar region. And fourth, the major finding that I get through my research work is that education play a vital role in developing good entrepreneurial career. Now, the limitation of my work is that due to some circumstances, I failed to visit ground zero for gathering informations. This research is conducted on the basis of limited response we got from people due to their lack of knowledge on entrepreneurship. And third most limitation of my research is that it is conducted purely for academic interest. And my research paper only give you an overview about the perception of people about entrepreneurship. At last, that conclusion that we drawn from our research work is that the concept of entrepreneurship must be introduced and widely spread throughout the geographical region of Bihar, which helps the native of state to getting familiar with the ideology of entrepreneurship. Rather being a job seeker, they would become job giver, which directly help in growth and development of Bihar. There must be a second most conclusion that I drawn from my research work is that there must be a drive about creating awareness program of resources availability so that people get aware about it and also know how to use it in productive and effective way to get maximum productivity out of it. The third conclusion that I drawn from my research work is that there must be a subjective way of imparting knowledge regarding how to start a business and what are the necessary steps an individual should follow to sustain the business model. The fourth major finding that I drawn from my research work is that people are people considered entrepreneurship and a startup as a similar thing, but both are completely different. Entrepreneurship is an ideology. It carries innovation and the ideas to convert it in a business, whereas a startup is just profit oriented things, which profit oriented businesses which just start with a motive to earn maximum productivity. That's all about my PPT. Have anyone have any query or suggestion for me? Then please give it to me. Thanks.
Toulouse, sir. And we were talking about this SDG and the course curriculum. Shibu has also concluded that we should have a practical approach towards entrepreneurship, and that can be only possible when we connect those things with the education sector. Like we are having course curriculum of entrepreneurship, but still that is only a theoretical aspect. Why not to be a more practical and focusing this special paper entrepreneurship, the startup way, in a more practical way? This is my opinion, sir. Over to you, sir. Toulouse, sir. Am I audible, sir? I think there is a. Am I audible, Shibu?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible, ma'am. I think,
I think
there is
there
any
is
problem.
from Toulouse, sir. Okay, no issue. So we can move on to the next presenter.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, Rahul, sir. Who is the next presenter?
Ankita.
Okay, Ankita, can you start with your presentation?
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you are audible.
My essay is showing on the.
Yes, we are viewing your screen, Ankita.
Honorable guests, respected faculties, and all who present here. Good afternoon to all of you. I am Amisha from PGDM. My topic is impact of green revolution of Indian economy. Agriculture sector plays a significant role in the development of the Indian economy. This paper is written to point out the both current and future situation facing the primary sector of Indian economy. India's dependence on agriculture activities is huge. A large number of the population is depends on agriculture. As we know, the Indian economy is regarded as fast growing among the largest economies, as it has shown good process to the world in terms of growth rate. In India, 2 by third of the population depends on Indian agriculture. Nearly 60% of GDP of India comes from agriculture activities. After China, India is the second largest agricultural producer in the world. Nearly 8% of global agricultural output is contributed by India. Even then, the question arises that there is the sectorial balances in all the sectors of the economy. The answer is no. The secondary, which is also known as industrial, and tertiary, which is also known as service sector, are growing at faster rate in the comparison to the primary sector of the economy. After observing the GDP, agriculture sector is no much to match the level of industrial and service sector. As the primary sector facing many challenges regarding the different quality soil, scarcity of water for irrigation, structure of storage, policy of government, not considering as dignified profession. This part to conclude with my co-partner Suma.
Good afternoon, everyone. During the latter half of 20th century, a period started in 1960 in which agriculture in India was converted and the adoption of technology to the adoption of the technology, where Indian farmers are using high yielding variety of seeds, having better irrigation facilities, and with pesticide and fertilizers. Green revolution was generally based on the three principles. Growing population need the food. As we know, we have to feed the large population as the Indian population is growing, and the land is limited, and we have limited land also. Increasing the yield through external outputs become necessary. Green revolution was introduced by Dr. M.S. Swaminathan in India. After the introduction of green revolution, the area under food grains has increased from as 97.32 million hectare in 1951 to 1951, 1950 to 1951 to 140 million hectare in 2021-22, while the production increases by 6 times, and the production, the quantity was shifted from 50.82 million tons to, which is in 1950 to 1951, 323.3 million tons in 21 to 22. Due to the yield has improved and the better irrigation facility was provided. The external method approach was to decrease the importance of internal regulation. Thus, excessive use of agrochemical resulted in environmental pollution. One side we are looking that we have getting profit from green revolution by using green revolution, and other hand we say that we are using chemicals which is resulted in like polluting the soil. We are increasing the use of nitrate, ammonia, phosphate, and many heavy metals. Now the next slide is will be discussed by Ankita.
Now, the objective of the research to understand about the green revolution impact and challenges faced by agriculture in future. The research methodology are a vast change has occurred in the economy of India. Even then, the performance of agriculture sector is not appreciable. What we compared it with the other two sectors. The needs of the study. There is much need to conduct the research because 2/3 of the population depends on agriculture sector compared to other sector. Now it's time to conclusion. The strategies of agriculture by the introduction of new seed varieties, innovative technologies, ethical practices are invited. This is also important to resilience the climate variabilities and changes which India is facing. Participation of farmers and communities in agriculture and market management will lead to better use of natural resources, as well-being of people, and a large population of arable land should be developed to cultivate horticulture and plantation crop and to attain food security. Future prospects of foods and agriculture are depends mainly on the migration of challenges that India is facing and proper management of the food product. Then the last analysis. Then the future agriculture is facing major challenges that are food securities, declining of soil quality, weather conditions, rules of government, not considered as honorable for reason. Analysis of this research is like this: agriculture sector expected to grow by 3.9%. Industrial sector grows by 11.8%, and service sector grows by 8.2% in the year 21 to 22. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, the group, Ankita, Amisha, and Suman. Like, especially for a Bihar, a state like Bihar, agro-based industries is the industries which are being talked about. So this presentation was very much useful for our state, especially Bihar. Like, green revolution and agriculture sector cannot be imparted away from each other. This green revolution has revolutionized the agriculture sector. Any queries, Toulouse sir?
Very interesting issue. As Indonesia also had a good experience with the Green Revolution started in 1970s.
Yes, sir.
My question is, now with the promotion of green economy and also problems related to global warming, the implementation of green revolution becomes a problem. So my question is, are there special measures taken by the Indian government to deal with this problem?
Yes, sir. Indian governments are using agro fertilizers like the wastage, and they are avoiding the chemical uses as in the use of fertilizers, and they are shifting towards using agriculture. Means the wastage like natural. They are using natural fertilizers like
okay, yeah, from animals, something like that.
Like
yes.
Yeah. The same like in Indonesia, they are doing the same. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Okay, thank you, Suman, Amisha, and Ankita for this effort on the research, which is really need to be talked about for this, especially for the developing countries like India and other countries, Southeast Asian countries. We should focus on the agriculture sector because that is the backbone of Indian economy or any other developing economies in the Southeast Asian countries. Moving further, I'll invite Abhishek Pandey sir to